Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amir Rahman bin Amir and I am one of the group member of group K68. So this is our group presentation slide. In this presentation slide, basically we will explain all the topics that we have find and do research that relate with our FYP1 report. Our title for our report is The Improvement Strength of Mortar Concrete with Mixed Rubber Crumb and Additive. Okay, first for our introduction. This research aims to produce a concrete that will decrease the disadvantages of Portland concrete and resolve it. Mixture of silica fuel with concrete in this paper also shows that the strength and hardness of the concrete also increase. In this research, the main goals are to compare the difference of compressive strength between standard concrete and concrete that have been mixed with silica fuel with different additive ratio and to explore its effect on the main physical properties of the concrete.
So for the objective of this study is we need to investigate the effect of silica fume in SFC mixtures and on materials properties such as compressive strength. Second one is to analyze the viability use of silica fume to reduce early cracking and inhibit later crack growth. Silica fume is added to concrete to improve its properties both of the mechanical improvement resulting from addition of a very fine powder as well as from the reactions between the silica fume and the free calcium hydroxide. So lastly is to determine the compressive strength and water absorption of a concrete mortar with mixed rubber crumb as a material for roofing tile. So for the scope of project of this study is to achieve our objective of the present study. The replacement of fine aggregate for mortar roof tiles will be conducted with 5% crumb rubber with an additionally 3% separately, which is 5%, 10% and 15% of silica fume. Besides that, the inquiry will use a 150 mm cube designing size cube of sample. And secondly is to cover the compressive strength and the water absorption testing to determine the percentage of water absorption and the compressive strength for the new mixed roof tiles fully mortar concrete. Silica fume, basically powder-based additive with grouped the silica family. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abanzar Fabindi bin Syabini. Cometric is AA200479. So for this slide, I will be presenting the roof tiles. So for the definition, roof tile is a thin flat slab of fine clay used for roofing. So there are certain types of roof tiles, and among them are slate roof tiles, metal roof tiles, concrete roof tiles, composite roof tiles, clay roof tiles, and solar roof tiles. So the application of roof tiles in constructions. So basically it begins with the process of tiling a roof with the installation of the guttering and fascia boards and the bulk delivery of the tiles to the site. Secondly is measurements are made and set out, nails are hammered in place along the rafters to hold the batten, which are timber pieces that are horizontally across the surface of the roof to keep everything in place. After that, a layer of sarking is then laid down over this set of nails with the reflective side facing downwards. Once the sarking laid down, the battens are carefully nailed and on over it, and a tile elevator is usually set up to transport the tiles safely up onto the roof. So there are two types of physical and mechanical properties. One of them is colors. Terracotta tiles are made from a mixture of natural clays and shells that are burned in a kiln to seal in the color and assure long-term durability. They are available unglazed in their natural red-orange color or glazed to create a variety of finishes and colors. These hues span from delicate ivory to deep reds and blackish stone. The second point is tile patterns and profiles. Concrete roof tiles come in a variety of shapes and sizes, from deeply ribbed Mediterranean forms to traditional French patterns to flat shingle patterns. The importance of a roofing material's visual texture is sometimes overlooked. So for the strength and the ability of roof tiles, there are three, and first of them is strength. So strength is to establish that roof tiles made in conformity have acceptable transverse strength. They must pass a specific loading test. This test produces minimum strength requirement to ensure that roof tiles are strong enough to sustain routine handling pressure and occasional foot traffic on the roof for maintenance access. So the second one is durability. Roof tiles can be expected to last for more than 50 years if properly maintained. Concrete tiles are the most ideal form of roofing for houses in close proximity to the seacoast because of their demonstrated resilience to corrosive atmospheres. The physical attributes of 10 years old concrete tiles were compared to fresh tiles, which demonstrate that prolonged exposure to the coastal environment had no effect on the tile's physical properties. So the third one is resistance to salt attack. Salt can harm roof tiles by chemical attack, the expanding of impact of salt crystals growing in the tile's pores, or a combination of both.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Putra Haikal bin Muhammad Liza, now metric AA200134. Now I would like to present about the concrete. Concrete is among the most popular building material, having said still in popularity. Structure of concrete must be analyzed so that they may be used for the long term. Concrete have a three type. For the first one is nominal concrete mix ratio, standard mix, and the last one design mix. The nominal mix is a combination with a predeterminate cement aggregate ratio that assure adequate strength. The nominal concrete mix ratio is 1 to 4 for M15, 1, 1.5, and 3 for M20. And the table show grade of concrete and also show the mix ratio, cement, sand, and aggregate. And the last one is cement is compressive strength of 20 XD.
Okay, the next part is physical and mechanical properties. Concrete is made up of sand, a fine aggregate, plus a coarse aggregate, cement, a binder, and water, which is an additive. Physical features of excellent cement: a fineness of cement, soundness of cement, consistency of cement, or Vickett test. Strength of cement have a three, such as compressive strength, tensile strength, and flexural strength. The next part is rubber. Natural rubber or NR is a biomaterial that can be found in a variety of plants, but it is most made by Hevia brasiliensis. Rubber, tire, paints, and waterproofing material, among other things, are all made with it. Type of rubber will be introduced in this topic. For the first one is natural rubber. Natural rubber, also known as Indian rubber or rubber made from the milky liquid or latex occurring in the is obtained from the Hevia brasiliensis trees. The second type is neoprene rubber. One of the oldest varieties of synthetic rubber is neoprene, commonly known as a chloroprene. It is a lower sensitivity in burning, corrosion, and deterioration when compared to poor latex and other synthetic rubber. For application of rubber in composite, for the first one is understanding the phenomena of phase, failure, dispersion, distribution, and a connection between these loop for the control and monitoring of the characteristics of rubber composite to continue to improve. Then the material selection, modification procedure, and processing technique must all match current expectation for exploitative performance, durability, and environmental sustainability. Some end-of-life tires can be utilized as alternative fuel in cement production split by decomposition due to thermochemical or rubber or crumb rubber obtained from waste tire could be used in alpha manufacturing according to the outer measures. And basic properties of rubber have three, such as elasticity, thermal contraction, and durability. For mechanical properties is mechanical analysis is the process of determining a material physical strength, such as tensile strength, shearing strength, violence, tensile modulus, and elongation after breakage.
Okay, next for additive part. First, I will explain the definition of additive. It is necessary to discover a variety of various interpretation of additions by researching the meaning and definition of the term. First, additive can be defined as something that is added to a mixture of substances to enhance or improve the overall quality or to counteract negative characteristics. Okay, besides that, additive also a material that is added to another in small amounts to cause a desired change in the properties of the mixture. Apart from that, additive also means by a material introduced in small amounts to something else to improve, strengthen, or alter it. Additives are used for a variety of purposes also. Lastly, they are added to food, for example, to enhance flavor or color or to prevent the foods from rot. It is added to gasoline to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to polymers to increase molding capacity. Okay, before that, additive also is known as admixture. Okay, on the screen, there are four types of additive that we have been given. First, water reducing admixture or additive. Second, retarding admixture or additive. Third, accelerating admixture or accelerating additive. And the last one is air entraining concrete admixture. Okay, so our group additive is silica fume that we will be used in our project. Okay, basically silica fume also have its own properties, physical properties, chemical properties, and mechanical properties. For physical properties, silica fume particles are extremely small and form a grayish black powder, with more than 95% of the particles are being finer than 1 micron and having a specific area of approximately 20,000 cm squared per gram. Okay, for silica film chemical properties, silica film is mostly consisting of pure silica in non-crystalline form with a little number of other elements. Silica film also contains a very high concentration of amorphous silicon dioxide and is composed of very small spherical particles. Okay, for mechanical properties, basically silica film will improve the compressive strength of the concrete and will reduce the water absorption of the concrete. Okay, all things have its advantages and disadvantages. This also applied to silica fume. Okay, if we use silica fume on our concrete mixture. Okay, as you can see on the screen, I have stated all the advantages and disadvantages if we use silica fume. Okay, first I will go to advantages. The example of advantages is silica fume have high bond strength. It also have high electrical resistivity and low permeability. And lastly, it will increase the toughness of the concrete mixture. Okay, next, the example of these advantages if you use silica film is the presence of silica film will enhance the autogenous shrink edge of the cement slurry, and the quantity of inclusion will surpass 5%, increasing the likelihood that the cement would crack. Cracks in mortar and concrete are easily caused, necessitating the necessity for concrete maintenance. That's all from me. Thank you.
This is the methodology flow from our group for this project. For the first one is project start. After that, doing some literature review. Then experimental work is will divide two, which is a crumb rubber and silica fume. After that, doing some mechanical testing and see the result and discussion. And for the last one is doing some conclusion. Okay, it is an experiment of flow chart. First of all is project start. After that, doing some material preparation, which is mix gum rubber and silica fume, mix cement and sand and water. After that, during from testing sample, we will use 150 mm multiply 150 mm and multiply 150 mm for the size for the mole sample. After that, number of sample we will use 6, which is we will divide 3 for 7 day and 3 for 28 day. And after that, we will do some mechanical testing for test the compressive strength and water absorption. Then evaluate of experiment result and doing some conclusion.
So the mechanical testing of a concrete mortar is by two ways, which is compressive strength and water absorption. So for the compressive strength of the concrete cube test provides an idea about all the characteristics of concretes. By this single test, one judge that whether concreting has been done properly or not. Compressive strength of concrete depends on water-cement ratio, cement strength, quality of concrete material, quality control during the production of concrete. For the water absorption, one of the most important properties of a good quality concrete is low permeability, especially one resistant to freezing and thawing. A concrete with low permeability resists ingress of water and is not as susceptible to freezing and thawing. Water enters pores in the cement base and even in the aggregate.